Welcome to episode 1 of The Retired Teacher. Hello, my name is David Cope, and I'm in fact the retired teacher. Not quite yet. Still a few more years until my retirement. But I thought, why not start a channel as I enter the final phase of my career. I'm about to enter my 24th year in education. Currently finishing up my vacation here in the Mammoth Lakes area of California, the Sierra Nevadas. Apologize for the winds. As I previously mentioned, about to enter my 24th year. 20 of those years were spent as a classroom teacher, social studies teacher. And the last 3 years, I was the Title I and ELD coordinator. And I'll be taking on that same role this year as I enter my 24th year. All of them, like I mentioned, with Los Angeles Unified School District. As I enter the final few years of my career, and I'm thinking 2 to 4 more years, I thought it might be a great idea to start a channel that revolves around public education and retirement. Like any great lesson, you need to have an objective. And I guess the objective of this channel is to kind of get some dialogue started with other educators who are either approaching retirement or who are newly retired or who have been retired for a number of years. There's a lot of fear and a lot of anxiousness when it comes to retirement because we've been going to, in my case, the same school for the last 23 years. And in a couple years, that's no longer going to be the case. So teachers plan, educators plan, and I'm planning my retirement. And I have been for a couple years now. So the idea is to kind of get the dialogue started about retirement for educators, specifically educators in California, because we're members of CalSTRS, the California State Teachers Retirement System, and we do get a pension with them, and I'm blessed to say that. But just educators across the country. Not sure if I mentioned it or not, but I'm 54. I'll be 55 in April of 2026. So I'm hoping to retire at 56, 57, or 58. And I would say that that's probably considered an early retirement. And I'll be leaving money on the table. A substantial amount of money on the table when I do retire. The first thing my colleagues ask when I tell them I'm retiring early, they ask about the finances. Let's set that aside for a second, although I know it's difficult. I work for LA Unified School District. It's a huge bureaucracy. It's a behemoth. Second largest school district in the country. We've got 400,000 students. My school alone has 1,400 students. When I first started there a number of years ago, we had over 3,000 students. The school I work at is considered to be one of the most diverse high schools in all of LA Unified, if not the country. With this top-down approach that is LAUSD, it can be very frustrating. It can be very daunting. And it can be troubling. So needless to say, I've had enough of the nonsense. And I've had enough of the bureaucrats getting in the way of education. Secondly, time versus money, right? And there'll be another episode devoted to that. I can stay till 62 and max out my pension. But time is maybe the most valuable resource that exists to us. So I'm trying to strike that balance between having enough time and having enough money. So that's what has pushed me to this idea of retiring early. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this first episode of The Retired Teacher. I'm not sure if this channel is going to get any traction at all, but that's okay. Please post any comments or questions that you have below the description. And I'm excited to share this journey with you as I enter the final phase of my career, and I anxiously and excitedly begin a new chapter in life. David Cope, The Retired Teacher. We'll see you next time.